Bobcats took the first matchup in Huntington 5-3. Let's see how this one goes. First inning, bases loaded, and Jackson Halter blasts a grand slam over the fence, and Marshall takes an early 4-0 lead just like that. Second inning, Will Henson, check him out, making the diving stop up the middle to end the inning. Webb Jim right there. Runner on second, and Tyler Stack coming up here, going to shoot one into right field, and the Bobcats will push their first run of the game across home plate. Two runners on for Cameron Boyd, and he grounds one to short, and Mason Onate makes the diving stop and gets the out at third. To the third inning, bases loaded, and Dylan Shepard wears one, and the Bobcats score one more. 4-2 Marshall leads, but OU creeping back in it. Fifth inning, Cooper Henson hits one to center, and Cam Hill slips. Misread in center, and the ball gets down Henson into third with a headfirst slide. Two outs, A.J. Havrilla pops it up, and Reese Harmon stays with it, tracking it down and bringing it back over the fence for the final out of the inning. How about that? And the Herd get their revenge, winning 5-2.